Hablando con Alex.
Today, we're taking on a topic that honestly often feels like a giant hurdle for a lot of language learners. But here's the secret. It's actually this beautifully logical, completely predictable system. We're talking about Spanish conjugation. If you've ever looked at a Spanish sentence and just kind of wondered how the action words shift and change their endings, well, you're in the exact right place. Our whole mission today is to completely demystify Spanish verbs and make them incredibly easy for you to use in your real everyday life. Let's unlock this magic together.
Okay, let's dive right into this roadmap. We're going to cover 1. The magic of conjugation. 2. Pronouns and verb types. 3. The golden rule. 4. Key verbs to know. And finally, 5. Conjugations in action.
La magia de conjugar.
So what exactly is it? Well, to understand the magic, we really need to look at the problem we're trying to solve. In Spanish, how do we know who is actually doing an action? Conjugation is the ultimate simple solution to that. It's basically the process of combining a pronoun, the subject, with a verb, so it perfectly matches who's doing the action. Think of it like a giant matching game. For example, take the word vivir, which means to live. If we want to say she lives in Madrid, we don't just say ella vivir. No way. The verb transforms into ella vive in Madrid. That single little change instantly tells us exactly who is acting.
Pronombres y tipos de verbos.
Right, before we can start doing all these magical transformations, we absolutely need our raw ingredients. First up are the pronouns. These are the who of our action. Over on the singular side, we've got yo for I, tú for you, and él, ella, or usted for he, she, or formal you. Then, jumping to the plural side, we have nosotros for we, ustedes or vosotros for you all, and ellos or ellas for they. Now, here's an absolutely crucial point to remember. When you're referring to a group made up entirely of females, you've got to change those endings. Ellos becomes ellas, and nosotros becomes nosotras. Just mastering that early on makes a massive difference.
Okay, now for ingredient number 2, the verbs themselves. In their raw, completely untouched state, they're called infinitive verbs. And honestly, the great news here is that every single infinitive verb in the Spanish language belongs to one of just 3 families. That's it. They either end in AR, like hablar, to speak, ER, like comer, to eat, or IR, like vivir, to live. That specific 2-letter ending at the tail isn't just a label, by the way. It actually holds the secret code for how we're going to transform that verb later on.
All right, section 3, the golden rule. This right here is the absolute core of our explainer. I'm going to reveal a completely repeatable formula to conquer any regular Spanish verb. Honestly, think of it as a foolproof 2-step manufacturing process. Step 1, remove the R, air, or ear ending to find your stem. Step 2, simply add the correct ending for the specific pronoun you want to use. And that is literally the whole secret. You chop off the old ending and you snap on a new one. Let's actually slow down for a second and look at how satisfying and physical this first step is. Now, what's really interesting about this is if we take the full infinitive verb vivir and follow step 1, we literally just chop off that IR tail. And what are we left with? The naked stem, viv. That stem is the anchor of your word. It's the stable foundation that we're going to build everything else upon. So, once you have your stem, you bring in the magic endings. These endings are your ultimate blueprint. And notice how beautifully organized this is across the families. If you look at yo, meaning I, the ending is incredibly friendly. It almost always ends in simply an O, totally regardless of the verb family. For the other pronouns, the vowels kind of follow the verb's family name. The AR family uses a whole lot of A's, as, a, amos, on. The ER family relies really heavily on E's, and then the IR family is this neat mix of E's and I's.
Let's watch our very first verb hero go through this transformation. We're going to take the AR verb,
Hablar.
to speak, we take our stem,
Hablo.
and we just apply those endings we learned.
Yo hablo. Tú hablas. Él o ella habla. Nosotros hablamos. Ustedes o ellos hablan.
Boom! Just like that, a static dictionary word has blossomed into 5 dynamic, ready-to-use action words.
Let's move to the ER family and see how this builds. Our verb is comer, to eat. We isolate that stem, com, and add our ER endings. We get como, comes, come, comemos, and comen.
Notice again that the yo form retains that super easy o ending. If I want to say I eat, I literally just say yo como. It's that simple.
Finally, to round out the trio, let's look at an IR verb, vivir, to live. The stem is viv. Snapping on our endings, we get
Vivo, vives, vive, vivimos, viven.
Seeing all three of these verb families side by side really solidifies that matching pattern in your brain, doesn't it? Find the stem, identify who is doing the action, and apply the correct ending. It works every single time for regular verbs.
Section 4, Key Verbs to Know. Okay, so we've absolutely mastered the mechanics. Now, let's build up your vocabulary arsenal. Think about some high-value, everyday verbs you might use. We have AR verbs like trabajar, to work, and comprar, to buy. Then we've got ER and IR verbs like beber, to drink, and escribir, to write. I really want to remind you of your brand new superpower right now, because you know the golden rule. You possess the power to conjugate every single one of these verbs for any pronoun. You can instantly say I work, we study, or they write. You've got the whole toolkit.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 5, Conjugations in Action. We've looked at the rules. Now let's drop these transformed verbs into some real-world conversation. Let's take a quick mini dialogue. Imagine someone asks, do you work on the weekends? ¿Trabajas los fines de semana? And the reply is, sí, trabajo los sábados pero no trabajo los domingos. Yes, I work Saturdays, but I don't work Sundays. Look at the hidden conjugated verbs happening here. The first speaker uses trabajas, which instantly, without even using a pronoun, signals, do you work? The second speaker responds with trabajo, immediately signaling, I work. Native speakers do this absolutely on the fly, just smoothly applying that golden rule.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole conversational flow of Spanish. Listen to this. ¿Dónde comes normalmente? Where do you normally eat? The response, como en casa. ¿Y tú? I eat at home. And you? Because the question uses that to ending,
¿Comes?
it naturally and logically prompts the answer to use the yo ending, como. The verb endings themselves literally act like a bridge, tossing the conversation back and forth like a tennis match.
Let's look at one more, maybe discussing daily habits. ¿Estudias español todos los días? Do you study Spanish every day? Sí, estudio un poco cada día. También escucho podcasts. Notice how totally effortless that was? The verb estudiar was transformed to estudias and estudio. And then the speaker just tossed in another verb, escuchar, to listen, and immediately transformed it to escucho. You are now completely empowered to string together sentences just like this to talk about your own life. And with that empowerment, well, it's your turn. We've mapped out the rules, we've walked through the formulas, and we built up your vocabulary. But conjugation is kind of like muscle memory, you know? The more you physically practice chopping off that infinitive ending and snapping on a brand new one, the faster and more natural it becomes. I want you to grab the reins and start building your own sentences.
So, I'm going to leave you with a final challenge drawn directly from the source material. I want you to consider these two provocative questions, and I want you to answer them for yourself using the golden rule we just learned. First,
¿Dónde vives?
where do you live? And second,
¿Hablas otros idiomas?
do you speak other languages? Think about your stem, pick the correct ending for yo, and actually speak your answer out loud right now. See, the magic of Spanish conjugation is officially in your hands. Thank you so much for learning with me on this explainer.